Hi, we are back, Rachel and I, to share with you something that's very important to Rachel, and she wanted to educate all individuals, not only with autism, but paras and professionals, parents, about something very important for her. And you want to tell them what that is?
Well, there's two things that are very important that I need to talk to you about. One is stress, because we all face it before, no matter if we're on the spectrum or not. The second most important thing, which I think all of you faced in your lifetime or are still facing now, is bullying. Bullying is basically where you make fun of somebody physically, mentally, verbally, or just using the internet. And unfortunately, it still goes on because secretly our culture favors violence.
Right. So, Rach, I know when you first mentioned stress, and that's when we got started with exercise. Your mom had contacted me, and you were experiencing a lot of stress during high school.
Yeah.
So, what did exercise help? How did it help you in those stressful moments, or can you take and talk to us about that?
Well, first of all, high school was basically not very good. Well, it wasn't great, but I faced a lot of stress, mostly socially. Exercises helped me think a little bit more clearly, because after these exercises, I feel like my brain is like in order now, or just I'm pure exhausted. And it's also made me a bit more fit, which is beneficial. If you're ever bullied for your weight or how you look, exercise will make you look better, stronger, and more confident. So when you go back to school or workplace next time, people might regret ever bullying you because you have a perfect body and they don't.
That's awesome, right? So it just overall, it just helped your self-esteem, and I've seen that. I've seen her transition for these very stressful moments, if you don't mind me sharing, where there was a lot of tears and a lot of challenges, but we worked through that. And what I'm very proud to show and share with everyone is that most recently she had set up independently at the local library an Anime Fest, which is something very important to Rachel. And she designed this herself and drew the characters, right?
Well, only two, because there's other two artist works which I will not mention due to me trying to avoid the copyright laws.
Very good. But something like this, to see Rachel independently own it and take it and make it her own was absolutely amazing. I'm so very proud of her.
And I also recently have told Dave I wanted to do a replica of the exercise seat. Now, I didn't have any time, but I did the illustrations so far.
So she's used anime, her passion. Her passion is drawing and doing anime, and now she's made anime characters, demonstrating exercise, which again is so creative and so brilliant. And we're going to take you just through a couple exercises that we've used to help her reduce her stress, build her confidence, and ultimately help her when she either faces those stressful situations or even some bullying. So let's take them through the first one.
Well, basically, there's a log stretch, which one of my characters is now doing. He's a Spectrum.
Hazel Spectrum is her name. Is her character that she designed.
On an art card.
So this is actually how we first began our sessions. And as I had mentioned, she was a little stressed. There was some days some tears shed, but I encouraged Rachel to lay on this log to help reduce her stress, her anxiety, and she would just share with me what was challenging throughout her day. So we would lay here, and this is how we started, just by laying like this. Go ahead. And how does that make you feel?
So decompressing.
And where in your body do you feel that? Because that's what a lot of people and teachers and educators want to know.
Well, basically, you feel like the middle part of my body, which is like the stomach. Because when you get a lot of stress, your body tends to get very tense and and all that jazz, and mostly through the spine and the head, because if something goes in your head, like reactions or whatnot, it makes your body functions look so poor.
I love listening to Rachel because, and it's why it's so important that we hear her, because she is telling us how it feels for her, and we may never have that experience from a sensory standpoint or a cognitive standpoint. And we can read all the books and read all and research all the material, but to hear it from Rachel, to share it from her eyes and her body is absolutely amazing. So Rachel, thank you again for sharing all this. So I laid her on the log just to help stress. We know that in our shoulders is where we hold our attention. So this is an exercise just in itself, reducing stress. And what you'll see is with some children or adults, they kind of may shake when they get on this. So if they're doing that, this is actually an exercise that is not only reducing stress, but helping to improve their abdominal strength, which for most of our children with autism, with special needs, or just all children in general, they are traditionally weak in their abdominals. So this is covering definitely multi-sensory, multi-purpose, and all parts of the body. We love this exercise. Nice job.
Yeah.
All right, so second exercise. We would do something like this, and then we'd lay on the ground, and then we'd do a hip extension. Go ahead. So hip extensions, very basic, very simple, a good way to build confidence and self-esteem for any of your children or adults. Just simply by, what are you doing?
Just raising my butt up and down.
And what parts of the body are we working there, Rach?
Basically your lower back, your abdomen, and your glutes and your calves.
She's an expert. I don't even need to be here right now. Nice job, Rach.
And...
All right. Now, we're going to show you the last one, which we typically don't see. But, Rach, can you sit on the ball here? Which is called a dumbbell press. And the reason that I like to show you this, and Rachel does too, is because typically you don't see, or sometimes girls are afraid to use dumbbells because they think they're going to get really big and muscular muscles, which really isn't the case. But so I want you to see Rachel go ahead and do some dumbbell presses, which not only will help her physically, cognitively, but really from that sensory standpoint and get rid of some of that tension when she was bullied or when she was stressed. And I would try to do any big, large, gross motor movement to take her mind away from what she had experienced earlier in the day. Sorry, Rach. Will you walk a little forward so your head's relaxed? Keep your butt up. Here, let's do this one first.
Okay.
Now these are 8-pound weights. When Rachel and I started, we started with 3-pound weights. And actually she can do...
Actually 2.
Thank you. She actually can do 15-pound weights on each side. So again, confident. It's using a lot of her entire body. She's getting some sensory feedback from the ball, working her glutes. What else, Rach?
And also, if you have a leg picked on because you have no muscle in your leg or your arms, most of your arms, because in legs it's kind of like, it's a little bit silly, but if you want to do it, that's fine. It builds up muscles, but also makes your arms a little bit more flexible. So next time you come back to like school or whatever, you'll have the strength, mental and physical, to not get into fights, because gosh, that is kind of like
Nice job.
Scary.
Yes.
But also, you're gonna get a lot stronger, like carrying books, homework, even a dog.
Rachel, thank you for sharing all of what you did to explain, and I think that's going to help a lot of people on the autism spectrum, or educators, really better understand of not only the bullying but the stress that some people endure. So if you guys have questions, comments, fan mail for Rachel, and you want to hear it from her, please contact us at the Exercise Connection or contact us at NCHPAD. And don't forget, always challenge autism with exercise. We'll see you next time.